Well, guess what? We all knew this day would come. We all knew this day would... We all knew this day... We all knew this day... You know what? Fine, whatever. You've read the video title anyway. We're making a guide on how to play... Well... me. You already know what's coming. Roll the clip. Let's go! By the way, this is not a guide on how to play Mistweaver in general. There are multiple awesome guides for that already, such as the ones from Megaset, Ortimus, LB Ninja, and... well, that's about it. Go check them out. This guide, though, is for my build, because sometimes you just want to play something different, and there are no guides for it out there. So, let's go! I bet the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the words Master of Harmony is...
What?
Well, it's more fun than Conduit, so there's that. But is it even viable? Yeah, I'd say so. Is it a Fistweaver build, though? Nope. Well, then what the fuck? I mean... It does a lot of damage, and also healing.
You have my curiosity. Now you have my attention.
There we go. So with that out of the way, let's finally see the build. This is what I play in M+. And this is the baseline raid build I start with before making some changes based on what the encounter needs. Don't worry, we'll explain everything. Just pause the video and copy the talents for now. So, how do you play this? Well, your highest priority spell is Rushing Wind Kick. And by highest, I mean keep it on cooldown like your life depends on it. It gives you a proc of Vivacious? Whatever. A proc of instant heal. You better spend that as soon as you can to avoid overcapping, because you'll be kicking a lot.
Wait, what?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because that leads us into the second most important button we have, Thunder Focus T. This button does the stuff. Yeah, you know how it can empower all those other buttons and give you all sorts of different buffs? Nope, we don't do that here. We spend it on kick, and that's it. But that's the fun part. Watch. Not only it gives you 3 kicks in a row, but it also resets kicks cooldown. So practically 4 kicks in a row. And we have 2 charges of it. But no, we don't have the cooldown reduction Conduit gets after drinking tea, so we can't press the kicks back to back. And that's why we press heals in between kicks. Not like we have much else to press anyway. Oh, by the way, you might be wondering why we have this weird setup down here. Well, we're pressing heals so often that we very rarely even have some clouds out. So this node? Meh. Also, the clouds got nerfed by like a half. So one more reason why we don't care about them. On top of that, Legacy of Wisdom is pretty much useless in dungeons because the heal cleaves to nearby allies. So people should be stacked for it to work. But they never are. Works fine in raid though. But I needed to route down into Rising Mist somehow, so peaceful mending it is. Which also created this nice synergy with Emperor's Elixir, because it turns Enveloping Mist into a really strong spot heal. I almost never use it, but when I do, it looks like this. All right, but what does Harmony even do for us, besides the 2 T-stacks? Well, a bunch of passive healing. We've got Surge, which is okay, I guess. Then we have Aspect, which used to heal a lot before patch 1205, but not anymore. And then we have Coalescence, which is kinda the main character. Combined, they do roughly 15% of our overall healing, both in raids and dungeons, which is pretty good for hero talents. But they also play nicely into our sustained healing profile. We have so many HOTS: Renewing, Enveloping, Aspect, Coalescence. I mean, we're pretty much resto druids at this point. Oh, and yeah, we still spin to win. That's the same as with the standard build. The T rotation is more important, but outside of it...
Let's fight an epic battle, face off and spin the metal. No time for doubt now, no place for backing down. Beyblade, let it rip.
You know what? Let's see how it all looks in practice. All right, let's do the first pull of Windrunner. That's a pretty hectic one. The first thing I do as we're going into the pull is dump my renewing charges. Then I lust the tank for a faster gather, wait for the mobs to stack a bit, and immediately start the T-ramp as the group starts taking damage. You see that I try to squeeze spinning in between the kicks and heals, especially when I get the orange proc. That's Dance of Chi-Ji, by the way. There's the second T-ramp, which I held for Arcane Salvo, and yeah, I made a mistake there. I press T during Kick's animation, which consumes the T but doesn't reset Kick. Whatever, we lived. So I wasn't making stuff up when I said, it does a lot of damage and also healing. Are you convinced yet?
No.
Yeah, well, I'm not trying to sell you the build as,
You're doing it wrong, and this is what you have to play.
no, not at all. I've been playing it for the entire season, and I just wanted to share it with you. By the way, this is how the numbers looked at the end of the run, if you're wondering. It's viable. It's definitely not a troll pick. So maybe give it a shot if you're bored of playing the same build all the time. Oh, and I'm really sorry for this response here. You got it right. But I kinda didn't want the first guess to immediately spoil it. Sorry. But here's your reward for getting it right. You made it into the video. Yay! Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. But I bet you won't guess the next one. And I think that's like all I had to say, so